So, Keanu Reeves, quite possibly the worst actor alive.
You're not going to tell them what we're doing?
No, we do the intro first. Shut up, I don't know. Keanu Reeves, possibly the worst actor alive, right, is part of the best action series alive. You know what? I don't think Robert Pattinson as Batman is going to be that bad. John Wick.
3. I've not read these notes.
You don't need to read the notes to know what film you watched.
I didn't know you were doing John Wick 3. I thought you were just being like pretty.
So the story of this film takes off right from John Wick 2. There's assassins all over New York. They're all after him, and yeah, it's just about him surviving. Funnily enough, I've seen John Wick 1 and 2, but you haven't.
No, I had no idea what was going on, who John Wick is.
So we have two different viewpoints from someone who hasn't seen the John Wick franchise so far and someone who has. So bear that in mind as you watch this epic video. So it has a simple story, as we know, and it completely takes spectacle over substance. So there isn't really anything going on story-wise or character development, but obviously the spectacle of this film is what draws people in, and the action.
Yes.
However, I think sometimes it goes a bit too far, and that it just shows him travelling to like random locations just to get a nice shot, when sometimes it's just a bit unnecessary. You can add anything anytime you feel like.
One of my main issues with this is there's just too many fight scenes. It kind of just got very repetitive, very boring. There was like, I don't know, maybe 3 fight scenes in the first half. No, like in the first like half an hour, and they were all the same. Oh my god, he's gonna get stabbed. Oh no, it's fine. Oh my god, he's gonna get shot. Oh no, it's fine. It was just
Simple story, basically.
yeah, too simple.
Okay, so the characters.
So John Wick, who's played by Keanu Reeves.
Your favourite actor?
I hate him so much. I don't know why. I've never seen any film that he's in other than John Wick.
So this is the first thing you've ever seen of him?
I just don't like his face. His face pisses me off.
Right. His character is obviously amazing in the sense of like the action. Like, Keanu Reeves is a great action actor. However, he's just not a very good actor. And you can tell the film, like, plays this as sort of like a strength because they just give him no lines.
Yeah.
Like, and the lines he has, he absolutely butchers. Like, there's one line where he's doing his rationale for fighting so hard to stay alive, and he's like, I need to remember my wife. I must stay alive to remember. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's quite shocking.
Just go out to punching someone, please.
Halle Berry.
Do you like Halle Berry?
I like Halle Berry because she's in a James Bond film.
Which James Bond film she in?
She's in, is it Casino Royale?
No.
She's in...
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, she's not in James Bond, that's what I'm not thinking of. I'm thinking of the other one.
No, she is. She's in Die Another Day.
I'm thinking of...
She's in X-Men.
Shut up, I'm thinking of Jason Statham. She's in a Jason Statham film.
Halle Berry has somewhat acted
with...
Shut up, I'm doing a joke. So Halle Berry has apparently somewhat acted with Jason Statham, and that is your reason for liking him.
Ah, I'm with you now. So Halle Berry was good in the scenes.
The camera's in.
I know, but I'm trying to read. That's not even a full sentence.
I thought it's a note.
She was really good in the scenes between her and Keanu Reeves. The chemistry between them was, I thought, was quite good.
Arguably, she's as good as Keanu Reeves in the action scenes.
Oh, worse. She was shocking. Her dogs did more than her.
Nah, as in like her choreography was like as good as.
Oh, the choreography was good, but.
That's what I meant. She went to the John Wick School of Choreography.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was a joke.
Oh, alright, okay.
There is no John Wick School of Choreography.
I didn't know that! She plays like one of those... She's like quite a likeable character, but she does some things that are quite questionable. You think, what are you being rude for? Maybe there's more backstory to that than I know.
No.
Oh.
This is the first one she's been in.
Right, well, she's just a bitch for no reason.
The only problem for me is that the trailers presented her as like a main character, but she's only in it really for one scene. Granted, that one scene is really good. I mean, as Chloe said, it has like dogs in it as well, and that just adds to the scenes. Because whilst this film does have a lot of action scenes, it like mixes up a bit in each scene. So this particular one has dogs as well, so it feels fresh and not like repetitive. Last character, you like this character, didn't you?
Yeah, this character was the main rival throughout the film, so he's the bad guy. And
the main assassin, basically.
Yeah, there's a running joke throughout this film that this assassin is just a massive fan of John Wick, and throughout the fight scenes, he'll kind of do like a Spider-Man type of thing and just start a conversation like, "Oh my god, John Wick, I'm your biggest fan," and it was really funny and comedic, and I did like it.
Took us through a spectrum of emotions during.
It did. I just thought it broke up the intense scene a little bit.
Okay, so the action, obviously the main strength in the film. So like nowadays you've got like generic plain action films, like Central Intelligence with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart.
That's a good film.
The action wasn't there. What I mean is that there's a lot of generic action films nowadays, and but this film somehow makes it fresh, despite all the action films out there. I'm not quite sure. I think it's just the intense choreography. I can't say that word. But like in all three films, the action always delivers, and yeah, this film is no different. I mean, there's some brutal scenes.
Oh.
I mean, you like proper winced at like one
Can I
part.
from a film? I actually turned to him in the middle of the film and was like, "What age is this film?" Because that was.
It's the opening kill as well.
It's
and
very
just, like,
intense.
Very graphic.
There was just no need for it. It's good because it's like, right, okay, that's where this film's going. But
To be fair, in that part as well, you picked up that there were some problems with the choreography, and that sometimes it didn't look like they were actually punching each other.
yeah, there's a scene. I'm just gonna say there's a scene with the book.
Start again.
The opening scene
Has problems
with
with the choreography.
The opening scene has problems with the choreography.
Hey, we got there. Round of applause, everyone.
It's just a few punches and defense like strategies that just didn't look believable. So you could very clearly see that it wasn't a real fight. And I feel like the purpose of an action film is supposed to have a believable fight, and just didn't do that for me.
One thing I did like about this film, particularly the action, is that towards the end, sort of like John Wick, he can't just shoot them anymore. He has to bring in like new tactics because like the enemy's like, indifferent in their armor, and I thought that brought sort of a new feel to it, and it just made it fresh. It didn't feel all the same. It wasn't just constantly him shooting people. Oh, now he's hitting people. And there's also like different scenes. Like there's like a motorbike scene which is pretty intense. And yeah, I think they just kept it fresh throughout.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I thought cinematography was actually really good in this.
I thought it was amazing.
Like especially in the action scenes, because it'd have like wide angle shots of just all the action at once, with no cuts, so you could just see everything. It was just like you were watching it live. Because like the main problem with action films is like it gets really cut up. It's like punch, shot to their face, shot to something else, and it's just like it's a bit like.
Whereas this, there was just so many things to look at on the screen at once. It was amazing.
A big like example of like where choreography, like cinematography in action films can go bad is in Batman Begins. In his first fight, Batman's first fight, despite it being a great film, the action's not that great, and there's so many like different shots in it. Whereas this one, you've got a nice wide shot, no cuts, it's just free flowing. However, that does create the problem of, because he's fighting multiple people at once, you can see people sort of pulling the punches and sort of like,
Yeah, you do. Like, if you sit back from the film and you think, right, well, there's like, I don't know, 6 of them. Why aren't they all just storming at once?
Yeah.
It's very clear that, like, again, it's the whole thing with the fighting. You can tell it's a fake fight.
Then again, I'd rather take that over just like shots.
A bit more intense though. Like, oh, let's see John Wick take on 5 guys at once.
I think you watched the wrong movie.
I thought there was some really.
You need to stop downloading films online.
Sure. I think there's some really good tracking shots as well.
Oh yeah, like the motorbike scene.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Yeah, the motorbike scene I mentioned earlier, it's just like, I don't know how they filmed it, 'cause it's just like one long tracking shot, but it's just got no cuts. Well, if they do have cuts, they hide the cuts.
Yeah, they hide it very well.
The world building, have you learnt what this is since the last one?
This is, so the audience want to know more about the world, so they create like
gets like a feel about this world.
Learning.
So John Wick, it could just be a generic action film, but the writer's like, you know what, let's turn this into a universe. So you've got this sort of Assassin's universe, it's got like the Continental Hotel, it's got a chain of hotels, it's got the High Table, it's got its own currency, it's like, it's its own thing, it's sort of like a Harry Potter, but for assassins.
Yeah.
And I really like that about this. It's like the writers went above and beyond. I guess it sort of makes sense why like no one ever screams, because John Wick's just shooting people in public and everyone's just like fine with it. But it's like, are there that many assassins in New York?
Could just be no, but like in this world, it's more like a normal thing to see an assassin. So I'm agreeing with your point.
But this film definitely shows more of the world from the first two. It tries to build on it, which I quite liked.
Were there coins and currencies in the first two? You know, like all the things that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. Yeah. They're definitely in the second one. I think the first one they sort of dabble in it, and then the second one they go all out, and then this one they go all out. They go all out squared in this one. Right, final verdict.
Do you go first?
What kind of woman you are. Go
so
on,
I give it a 3.5.
I'd give it a 4 overall. I think compared to the other two films, I think it's better than the second one in terms of the action. I think in terms of the action, it's actually the best out of all three. But I think the first one just packs that emotional punch because of his dog, and you really want him to succeed. In this one, it's more of a survival thing. So you just want him to live. You don't want him to kill his opponent, if that makes sense. So it didn't have the emotional feel that the others did. Nevertheless, it's still a good film, and I can't wait for the next one. If there is a next one, hopefully there's a next one. Can't wait to see Keanu Reeves. Great acting.
I've scored it a 3.5. It's possibly because I didn't see the two films, so I've not got this connection to John Wick. But again, with the action, I thought it was a bit sloppy, so that's why I give it a 3.5.
Anyway, that is all from Cloyington Bear and me and myself, Might Be Raps Junior reviews.
Jesus, that was a mouthful. Do I try that one again?
It's Might Be Raps Junior reviews. I mean, I'm a rapper, that's in my name. I can rap.
When was the last time? When have you ever rapped in your life?
Morgs diss track. If you want to see the Morgs diss track,
please put a preview right here.
You just plain dumb. But why you stupid? Why could that be? Is it that you got GCSEs? No, you dropped out 6 months before, relying on clipping what a money grabbing whore.
Yeah, so I did a diss track on Morgs about 2 years ago, and that is probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. Anyway guys, if this video genuinely gets more likes than I have hairs,